Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining. Sunil here. Can you hear me? Please confirm in the chat box. Thank you. Thank you very much, Poonam, Gaurav, Tapan. Thank you very much. Thank you, Raghu. Thank you, one and all. Let's stop the chat. Okay. We had discussed about 4 important terminologies: Docker host, Docker client, what is Docker image, and what is Docker container. Okay. We have downloaded the image, but we have never experienced the concept of creating the container. In today's session, we'll experience how exactly we need to create a container. So this is our plan for today's session. We learn how can we download the image, and then how can we run the image so that the container gets created. How can we stop a container? How to remove a container? We'll discuss few options like detached mode, interactive mode, and how can we use environment variables if required. So this is our plan for our today's session. So as usual, before getting into the practicals of today's session, let's have a discussion this time with Kumar Raja.
Hey,
Hi
Sunil.
Kumar, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well, Kumar. Thank you very much. How is your learning experience of DevOps?
It's going great, but last sessions I can't able to practice due to
Rest
my
of all the sessions you are doing hands-on also.
yeah.
Good. Congratulations. So first of all, I just want to share one good news. One of our participants from 71 batch, I think. So got a job in Capgemini. Okay, having placed 2.5 years of experience in DevOps. He has successfully shifted his technology from Linux administration to DevOps. Okay, so please focus. Hands-on is very important, Kumar. Yes, your question.
I have just two questions. One is, can I assume that the Docker desktop that we have is also a Docker client?
Sorry, which one?
Docker desktop. There is an application that is on the Docker desktop.
Docker, no, that's different. Docker client is a terminal. Okay. Is a terminal where we write the commands. Okay. So that is different. This is different. Okay. Here we use git bash. Okay, Kumar.
And next is when I'm creating that instance for Docker, I've seen that there are two types of keys are given. So there's RS and EAD. I don't know about them.
So don't take the first one, RSA. When you're talking about the EC2 machine when you're creating your keys, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, take the RSA one. Previously it was updated recently, isn't it, Kumar? Previously we should not get any of those kind of keys.
Yeah. So I got confused.
So take the first one. Don't worry.
Okay. That's all.
Anything more,
Thanks.
Kumar?
No, nothing. Thanks.
Okay. Please drop your hand. Sukumar.
Hi, Sunil. Good evening. How are you?
Good evening, Sukumar. I'm fine. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thanks, Sunil.
Yeah.
I have one question. Like yesterday, you created one instance, right, to download the Docker. So
we have created one instance too.
And
this is the instance you're talking about. We have created an EC2 machine.
EC2 machine,
and then we have installed Docker on it.
Yeah, EC2 machine.
That's why the machine on which installed Docker is installed is called as Docker host.
Yeah, can we assume that will be the dev instance? Like earlier, you created dev prod testing, right?
Yes.
So is it a dev instance? This one?
No. You cannot assume like dev instance because we are not performing any deployment using this, isn't it? It's a standalone instance. Okay. So whatever the infrastructure which we are creating, we will be creating in this particular instance. You cannot visualize as a dev instance. It itself is a standalone instance, Kumar. Okay.
Yes. So along 3, it should be another one is a 4th one.
This is yeah. There's no link for with that 3 instances. This is altogether a complete independent instance. Okay.
Okay.
We have removed that all 3 instances, isn't it, Sukumar? You can
yes, that's what I got a doubt.
So that's nowhere related to this instance. Is nowhere related. It's not a continuation to that. It itself is a complete independent instance. Okay.
Okay. Thanks, Sunil.
Thank you, Sukumar. Krishna Rao.
Hi, Sunil.
Good evening.
Very good evening.
Yes.
Yesterday we download the Tom image.
Tom W.
Tommy image.
Yes.
There is a number of images there. There
We
is
have
in
Tomcat, we have Tommy. There are a lot of images. You need to go for official images. Okay. Those are the actual images provided by Tomcat organization. You should go for official images, Krishna. Okay.
officially. Okay.
There are two official images. I hope you remember, Krishna. One is Tomcat, the other one is Tommy. So go for Tommy. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
How is your practice going on, Krishna?
Very nice. Actually, I got engaged in 23rd.
Wow. Congrats. Congrats. Okay.
Thank you so much.
I know your experience.
I have the 4 years of experience in Python.
Mm-hmm.
And I know 25th batch in AWS I also learned.
Okay. Okay.
I went to shift the platform to DevOps and
So
AWS.
okay. Okay. So I wish you all the best. Okay. So
Thank you.
definitely your personal life is getting shifted and then your career will also shift. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Good. So you're from Hyderabad?
Yes, Andhra Pradesh, staying in Hyderabad.
Okay, fine. Thank you, Krishna.
Thank you so much.
Let's move on. Let's connect to Docker host. This is the PEM file. Pick up the SSH command. Connected. How to see list of images? You're right. Sorry, we have not. What is the problem? We should always shift to hash prompt. We have two images. We have downloaded one Tommy image. We have downloaded Ubuntu image. This was what we have done it yesterday. We have never experienced the process of creating the container. So today we'll be experiencing how to create a container. This is our Docker host. Yes. So right now images are downloaded. We will be running the images so that the container gets created. Okay. Perfect. Run command options we already have discussed. So anyways, we'll see it practically. We have downloaded one Tommy image. We have downloaded Ubuntu image. From where the images are getting downloaded? From where the images are downloaded, as you are right, Docker the images are downloaded from Docker Hub. Images are downloaded from Docker Hub. The Docker community is maintaining all the images in Docker Hub. Docker Hub is nothing but hub.docker.com. So you know that we already have discussed about this point. Quick revision. All the images are available in Docker Hub. Docker Hub is nothing but called as a registry where the Docker community is maintaining all the images. Now, whatever the image you want, you should be in a position to search for the right image. Let's say you want an image related to Tomcat. So you should have to search for the right image. There are two official images. I'm going with Tommy. Okay, so the second one, this is the image name and the Docker pull followed with the image name. This is the image name. Tommy is the name of the image. Okay, so like this, you should be in a position to you now know that all the images are available in Docker Hub. You should be in a position to get the find the right image and then pull the image so that the image gets downloaded into your Docker host. That's what we have discussed in the previous session. Yes, Gaurav.
Hi Sunil, how to log in hub.docker.com?
We are not logging in. You don't need to log in. Okay, let me sign out.
Okay, means it's
You don't need to log in. Okay, so go to hub.docker.com
okay.
and search for it's public registry. Anybody can. So you can search for Tomcat. These are the two official images. Select the image, whatever you want, get the Docker pull command. Okay, then pull download it. Okay, you don't need to log in that. But when to log in, we'll see that soon. Okay. Right now, you don't need to log in to pull the images. Gaurav. Okay.
Okay.
So the images are downloaded, Gaurav.
Yeah.
Isn't it? So then what's the next thing?
We need to push.
What can we do with the images?
We need to convert in container.
You have to not push, we have to run the image, isn't it?
Yes.
We have to run the image. When
Run
you
the
run the image, the container gets created. Okay, so I also want Jenkins image. Gaurav, for
Yeah.
Jenkins, the name of the image is Jenkins slash Jenkins. Use this image. Okay. So this is Jenkins image, Docker pull Jenkins/Jenkins. This is the name of the image. 500 million pulls. Okay. So downloading the third image. Done.
Yes.
So total images, Docker
Three.
image ls 3.
Yes.
Okay, fine. To create a container from the image, we are creating a container. To
Okay.
create a container, this is how you have to frame the command. Participants, please try to understand. The first command is very, very important. Docker. The syntax is, let's go back to the previous notes. Look at the last command. Gaurav, Docker run to create a container. Docker run image name.
Image
You have
name.
to obviously run the image, isn't it, Gaurav, so that the container gets created. So coming back to point, I want to run the Tommy image. So Docker run followed the image name. What is the name of the image? Tommy.
Tommy.
This is the command. When you run this command, what happens? The container gets created.
Okay.
Next point. When you are creating a container, it's a good practice to provide a name to the container. It's a good practice to provide a name to the
Name to the
container. So
container.
Docker run followed to the image name. After Docker run, now you need to use hyphen name option. You have to use hyphen name option. Hyphen name is used to provide a name to the container. Container name can be anything. Okay. So I'm writing it as C1. What is C1? C1 is the name of the container. Okay. Next. You need to perform port mapping. You need to perform port
Port.
mapping. Hyphen P is used for performing port mapping. Tomcat runs on what port? 8080 port. You need to map to a Docker host port point of. You can map it to any number. You can map it to any number. You can map it to 7070 123 for any number you want. I want mapping it to 7070. This is the first Docker run command. I have framed it. I hope you're very clear. This is the first Docker run command. We have framed it. So you can see this is very simple. Docker run followed the image name. That's how you have to create a container. It's always good practice to provide a name to the container. Hyphen name option is used to provide a name to the container. When you are creating container, we are naming the container as I am naming the container as what's the name of the container, Gaudo? I'm naming it as
C1.
C1 and Tomcat runs on port. You have to perform port mapping.
Port.
You have to perform port mapping. Tomcat runs on 8080, and this is how this is a port number from the Docker host point of view. I have mapped 7070. So when you run this, look at this. Look at the result of the Docker run command. You're getting long Tomcat log messages. You can see here. The
Yes.
container is Tomcat application container. The application is running.
Running.
Yes, got it.
Yeah.
How to check whether Tomcat is running? How can we access as it is a running application? How can we access Tomcat? Okay, where the Tomcat is running on Docker host. Take the public IP of the Docker host. Take the public IP of the Docker host. This is the public IP of the Docker host. And Gaurav, we have mapped to
7.
you should not access the default port, though you have to access using the port number which you have used, which you have mapped, that is 7070. So this is the Tomcat URL. As the container is up and running, so I want to access my Tomcat application. If you are seeing this page, you have successfully installed Tomcat. Did we install Tomcat from the scratch? No. The
No.
containers is all about providing the infrastructure. Now you are in a position to provide the Tomcat infrastructure. What you have done is just two things. You have downloaded the image and you have run the image. The Tomcat container is ready. Okay, Gaurav,
Yeah.
clear?
Yeah,
Thank
clear.
you.
Thank you.
Drop your hand, Gaurav, as you're done with your question. Anuj.
Good evening, Sunil. So,
Good evening.
the point is that we are mapping 8080 to 7070. So if there are multiple applications running, each application should be routing towards one single port. Two applications should not go on one port. Is it?
Yes, you are right. 1 minute. This is what application? Tomcat.
Tomcat, right.
Which runs on default port number what 8080.
Correct.
Okay. And we have mapped it to which number?
7070.
Fine. Okay. Your question will be answered in the next example. Okay.
Okay.
Now, Shika.
Yeah, hi Sunil.
Yeah.
I have two questions. The first one is asked by Anuj, like if two applications have the same port number,
Port
then
number, how to handle it? You'll get it in
and
the
the
next
second
5
one,
minutes.
yeah, and the second one is how we would know about the Docker host port number, like 7070. You are saying that
It
it's a
can
port
be
number
any
from-
number, 7070 or 7171 or 1234. It can be any number. Does not make any difference. Whatever the number you use it here, you have to access it. You have to use it in the URL to access that particular container. Got it?
container. Okay.
That is
So
the
this
importance.
is given by us. So
Yeah,
basically,
any number you can. Instead of 7070, you give 6161626264
Any
1234.
4-digit
Any 4-digit number you
four
give it.
digit, any
That's
4-digit
enough.
number we can give here,
Yes.
and we can map it with the host
Exactly.
applications I host
So that
port
you will
number.
access the container using that particular port number which you have mapped exclusively rather
Mapped
than the default port number. I hope it is very clear now, Shika, isn't it?
Yeah. Now it's clear now.
Yes,
Thank
I
you.
think now. Anuj, is your doubt clear now?
Yep. Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So there's no importance. It's not a predefined number as such. It is any number you can use it. Okay.
Okay. So if two applications have the same port number, so we can map them with the different,
7071. Use 7071. Next
Oh,
container.
and then we can
Jenkins.
access.
See, Jenkins also runs on 8080, isn't it, Shika?
Yeah.
So you create Jenkins container. For Jenkins, you map 70 instead of 7070, you map 7071 or any other
And we
number.
can access
You can
Jenkins
Public IP will be the same,
7071.
but the port number changes because every port number will access to different application. Okay,
Okay. Yeah.
that's how. That's a beauty. Okay,
In order to maintain modularity, this happened.
exactly. You're right. Okay. Sandeep.
Hey Sunil. So you were saying that the Tomcat and the Jenkins are like hosting on
Okay.
the ports 8080. How
Yes.
to get these default ports? Are they predefined or?
No, Tomcat predefined. These are port numbers are predefined 8080.
So okay, then means if I'm like how to install some another one, I means any that SQL instance or something. How we will get to know the
How to know the
port number?
default port numbers?
Yes.
Search in Google. Very simple. Okay.
Okay.
So
So it means this is the
default
general
port,
default port.
yeah, port number for Tomcat.
Okay.
Search it. 8080.
Okay, I thought
Okay.
that means the defaults like from the
No. It is
Docker
default,
site and
anybody- no.
so that's
Irrespective whether it's Docker or the actual port Tomcat, it is the same. Okay.
okay, yeah, got
Clear,
it.
Sandeep?
Yeah.
Please drop your hand. Okay. Now, Anuj, one container is running. Agree?
Right.
Tomcat container is running. Okay.
Correct.
And what is your Docker client? This is your Docker client. That is Git Bash. And your Docker client is busy with the container log messages.
Right.
I want to stop the container. If you want to stop the container, Docker stop followed the container name.
Correct.
Your container name is C1.
Right.
but my terminal is busy with, I'm not getting a prompt back so that I can run my next command. So what I'll do, I open one more terminal.
Sunil, here also we will be having similar kind of, we
One
don't
minute,
have to
one
run.
minute, one minute, one minute.
jar.
I'm opening one more
Duplicate.
terminal and I am connecting to my Docker host. I already connected. I go to my root user. Now, how to see list of containers? Docker container.
Container. ls.
So you can see one container is running. Okay. And how to stop that container? Okay. You can see the container name is C1. This is the
C1.
name. This is the container using what image? Tommy is the name of the image. Now, how can we stop the container? Docker stop. The container is stopped. Okay. And if you want to remove the container permanently from the no file system, from the completely file system, you don't want anything related to container, you have removed it permanently. Okay. So this is the first container we have experienced. Okay. Now, if you experience this particular Docker run command, okay, when you compare with the previous Docker run command, can you see here?
Right.
Okay. So here also we have Docker run followed in the same image. Okay, name you can write anything. Here I'm writing it as my Tomcat. Find port mapping is the same. The new thing what I'm using here is -d stands for detached mode. What happens when you run a container, when you run an image in a detached mode? When you run the image in the detached mode, no doubt the container is created, but your terminal will not be busy with the log messages. Anuj, very important observation. Your terminal, unlike last time, it was not busy with the log messages. Immediately you get the prompt back so that you can run the next related commands. And the log messages will be running on the background. Now, anyways, you can access the application by using the same public IP. Am I right? Port number, right? Same 070, you get the same application. Yes, you got the same application. Got it?
Correct.
But
correct.
the new thing here, what we have discussed is about the detached mode. So Anuj, what is detached mode? We use detached mode when you don't want the log messages of the background messages of a particular container and you want the terminal back so that you can run the next commands. That is the advantage of what? Detached mode. Okay, Anuj?
Right. Right. Detach means leave my console, run in background.
Yes, you are right. Run in background. Okay.
So once we remove that image, the image will be, once we stop the container and we deleted the container in the previous example, right?
We have removed it. Yeah, removed the container.
So once we remove it, the image will be remain there, right?
Image is as it is. Okay.
Okay.
There are 3 images. It's something like Anuj, you want to install some Skype or Notepad++. First, what we do, we download the exe file in our laptop, isn't it? When you run the exe file, the application will be available. But the exe file is still available, right?
Right.
So both are not really. It's only an image.
I have a doubt,
Yes.
Sunil. Once I stop the container, so container is nothing but a running Docker image is called container.
Not running image. When image, not running image. Now the image is not in running state or image is not in stopper stage. Okay.
Okay.
When you run the image, the result that what you get is a
container.
That's it. And image is image only. Okay.
Right. So image is as it is. When I run the image, I get a container.
The result is a container.
Container. So in order to stop it, we need to first stop, then delete that. So something must be created.
Directly you can delete it also without stopping. Also, when the container is running state, also you can use -f for forcefully you want to remove it. I just stopped it and removed it.
As it is.
Image is as it is. Again, if you rerun the image, again you get one more container. Okay. Got it?
Right. Thank you.
So got it. I hope I'm very clear.
Yep. Yeah, very clear, Sunil. Sunil, one question. Just like we start the Jenkins by running Java space -jar jenkins.var, here we don't have to do anything. We need to simply run the image.
Yes. Now can see here. Yes. I mean, that's our next example. Yes, Naveen. Yes, Naveen. I cannot hear you, Naveen. You need to check your mic settings. Muthuswamy.
You created after deleting that container and stopping that container, you created my Tomcat. So a number of
Sorry, after deleting the container.
and removing that container actually. You
Yes, after
deleted
yes, you can see here I have removed the container.
yeah, and you created a new container. You ran a new container actually.
Yes,
am I
the
right? With
container
five
name is
files.
different. My Tomcat is the name of the container. Okay.
So we can create multiple Tomcats, am I right? For
You
example,
can
you
create
created
multiple yeah, you can if you want
my
multiple Tomcat
Tomcat or
containers.
whichever name we can create as
Tomcat
much
1,
as.
Tomcat 2, Tomcat 3, Tomcat 4. There's no restriction. You can run n number of
But
times you
how
have in
come it
terms of.
will occupy the memory actually here actually? So, for example, the underlying operating system, for example,
That
the
is the
EC2
reason.
instance having
Dynamically, Docker allocates as per the availability of the memory. Whatever the memory is available, it is shared to the containers. Okay. So that's the
so
reason.
that
Technically,
we
we
can
cannot
have
create
n
more.
number of things, but if it is exceeding the memory limit, it will not
Obviously,
allocate.
the performance of the content performance will be down. Obviously. Okay.
Okay, okay,
Yes.
okay. Got it.
Please drop your hand once you are done asking your question. Please drop your hand once you are done asking your question. Yes. I think one more question this time for Azam. Yes. Hello, Azam. Hello, Azam. Can you hear me?
Yeah, sir, good evening.
Good evening.
So, can we have more than one services in a single container?
Don't use the word service. Okay.
Yeah, like can we have more than one?
More than one container.
In a single container, can we have like Tomcat and Jenkins in a single container?
That's no. It's called as a multi-container architecture. You have to wait. Awesome. Okay, we'll be seeing it soon. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
It's not multiple containers. Okay. You can create a multiple containers and then you have to establish links between them. You have to wait. Okay. Okay. So let's move on. As Tomcat is running on the detached mode, we get the hash from back. Okay. So anyways, this is not required. Shika, can you explain the statement?
Yeah, hi Sunil.
Yeah. Can you explain what actually we are doing here?
And here we are running the Jenkins image.
What is the name of the image?
My Jenkins, and we are
What is the
mapping
no 1 minute? What is the name of the image?
We have given the name as My Jenkins. Image name
Name,
as My Jenkins.
Wrong. Image
Jenkins
name
slash Jenkins.
is the
Jenkins
image
slash
name.
Jenkins.
Yes.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
is this? This is a
Jenkins
container name.
Okay.
Hyphen name is used to provide a name to the container.
Container.
Not last time what I have used hyphen name C1. C1 is the name of the container. Something safe. So don't get confused. Then what we write is the image name. So the image name is Jenkins slash Jenkins and the container name is
My Jenkins.
And the Jenkins default port number?
It's
8080. We have mapping it to
9090.
In such case, we have, if you want to access the Jenkins container, we take the public IP of the Docker host, isn't it?
And yes.
Yes.
And then we mapped with 9090.
We map whatever the map number we have used it, that is 9090, so that we get the Jenkins page. Am I right?
Yes.
Perfect. So let's experience. And detached mode, so that you will not get the Jenkins log messages, you immediately get the prompt back.
Prompt, yes, sir.
Yes. The container is running. How can we access? Take the public IP.
And then slash 9090.
Yes.
Copy the public IP.
Got it? Clear?
Yes, yeah, we got the Jenkins.
Yes. Explain the statement.
Here we are running. Yeah. We are.
What is the name of the image?
Ubuntu.
Name of the container.
Yeah. Name of the container is My Ubuntu.
Exactly. Okay. The new thing here, what we are using is IT.
IT.
What is IT? Stands for Interactive Terminal. Shika, what happens when you use Interactive Terminal is here we are
are getting the log messages.
No, it's not log messages. Now let's have a pictorial representation. So we are creating a Ubuntu container. Am I right?
Yes. Name as
The
my
point
Ubuntu.
of interactive terminal IT means the container gets created and the control will enter into the container.
Okay.
Okay. The control
Okay,
will
we
enter
can-
into the container. Okay.
Okay,
So,
that means we can write any commands or we can
inside
give
the
any
container.
instructions
Yes, you are right.
inside the container. We
Right
can
now,
give
if you
any
see the
instructions.
Docker client, right now Docker client is pointing to 172.31. That is, it's an EC2 mission, isn't it?
Yes.
Right now,
got
Docker
it.
client is pointing to that EC2 mission, isn't it? So when you run this, container gets created, and the container control will enter into the container.
The container.
Yes.
So
Now
we will get the
you're getting a
Ubuntu.
hash prompt, but the point is
Yes.
you're no more pointing to EC2 mission. You
Yes,
may
we are
you
not
are
getting the IP. We are
you are
not getting the IP address.
The
for
moment you are
EC2.
not getting IP address, that means you have understood that you have left the EC2 mission. Now you are
Yes.
inside the container.
Container.
Now LS will show list of all the files. These are list of all the files, not the EC2 mission files. These are list
This
of
is
files.
for the Ubuntu server. Yeah, this is
Perfect.
for Ubuntu.
Got it?
Yeah.
Got it?
Yeah, got it.
Yes,
Yeah, got
perfect. So interactive. So we are we are exploring all options. IT stands for interactive terminal. D stands
Okay.
for detached mode if you want to
Detached
avoid the
mode.
log message. P for performing port mapping. Okay.
Yes, yes.
And if you write exit, your control will come out of the container back to your
EC2
Docker
machine.
host. Yes,
Back
now
to
you're
the
getting an
EC2.
IP address. Okay. So I hope I'm very
Okay.
clear in explaining how exactly interactive terminal works. Okay.
Yeah. Yes, sorry.
Thank you.
I'm getting all this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Vasanta Pawar.
Yeah, Sunil, I just along with you, I created the Jenkins Docker image. The container was running, but how do I get the password when I open the Jenkins?
You need to connect to, you have a Docker execute command. You need to
Okay.
enter into that terminal. I'll show it soon. Not a problem. That's not a problem. We'll see it soon. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Please drop your hand once once you're done with your question. Yes, Anuj.
So while installing Jenkins, it gives the password to unlock it. So
That's
is it
what the same
automatic?
question. That's the same question asked by Vasant, right? You
Right.
have to go to that particular location and then get the password. Okay, by using Docker execute command, we can enter into that particular container. We'll see it soon.
Okay, and
Okay.
one more thing, Sunil. These maybe you will be addressing this later.
Yeah.
Thing is
no
that
problem.
in the dev instance, we have installed Maven, Jenkins, and n number of things. So in order
Yes.
to make a dev server, so
Yes.
will it be a multi-container environment or one container, one Docker?
One container and install some set of softwares inside the container. That becomes the dev instance. Okay.
Okay, so that means
Okay.
if I deploy multiple
Now-
containers, they will not be interacting.
No. That will not be
Okay.
interacting. So what
Okay.
happens, what you have to do is, in such case, Anuj, this is Ubuntu, right? It's an operating system.
Right,
Okay.
right.
So inside this, if you install Git, Maven, Java, then it can be
Okay.
called as it is equal to the dev instance only.
Dev
Right?
instance. Okay.
So you
I
have
thought
using
that we can deploy Git container,
no.
Maven, Jenkins,
No.
and then make it.
You can install softwares inside the container. Okay?
Got it. Got
Yes.
it. Thank you.
Interesting, na, Anuj?
Yeah, then very interesting, Sunil.
Okay, thank you. So, Shika, can you explain the statement?
Which is statement?
Not this one. What does it mean?
This one.
Name
we
of the
are
image. Name of the image.
name of nginx.
Name of the container.
Name of the container is app server.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, next point. The two things I want to discuss in this example. I
Okay.
want an Nginx container. Okay.
Yes.
I want a Nginx container. Whenever you want a container, it's a two-step process, Shika. First, what we
Yes,
are
pull
doing,
the
we are
image.
downloading the image first.
Yeah. Pull the image.
First, you check is there any Nginx image or not. Though there don't is there no Nginx image. So what we
Yes.
have to do first, we have to pull the image. Docker
Pull
pull
the
Nginx.
image. Docker
How to
pull
know the
ng.
Nginx name? How to know the image name? Also, we know it. So go to
Yes.
Docker Hub.
Doc.
That is nothing but
hub.docker.com.
hub.docker.com and search for the
Yes.
application whatever you want.
Nginx.
search for whatever it is, okay, and get the official image. And this is the official image, Docker pull Nginx. So first what we do, we pull the Nginx image, the image gets downloaded. Once the image is downloaded, Shika, what we do, we run the image. That's what we are doing, isn't it?
Yes.
Now here,
Yes, yes.
can we, generally we pull the image and run the image. Now here, instead of pulling, what I'm doing, I'm directly writing the Docker run command. I'm not pulling the image. When you are not pulling the image, without pulling the image, if you write a Docker, if you know the Nginx, you know that, as you know image name, you are directly writing a Docker run command. If image is not
Yes.
available, it will perform pull operation automatically. So
Okay.
from now, we will not pull and run. We directly run it. If the image is
Run
there,
it.
it will use it. If the image is not there in the Docker host, automatically pull operation happens. The image will be downloaded and then the image gets executed so that you get the container.
Okay.
Got it?
So capital P is for automatically pulling the images
No.
and mapping that.
No. Let me wait. Okay. First, that's about pulling the image. If the image is not available, pull operation will happen automatically, and then the image gets, container gets created. Next, Shika.
Yes.
What is the importance of capital P? Tomcat runs on port number 8080. As we know, Tomcat runs on port number 8080. I have mapped to 70. But I am not sure what port number Nginx runs on. I don't know. I am not worried. I'm least bothered about it. If you don't know, if you don't worry about what is the default port number and what is the port number you need to map it, happily use capital P. Capital P for automatic port mapping. Automatically.
So how we would able to access this?
I'll show
because
it. I'll show it now. First, two things what we need to do from this particular example. Now you know that if image is not available, pull operation will happen automatically in Docker, and capital P for automatic port mapping.
Port mapping, yes.
Capital P for performing automatic port mapping. So before running this Docker run command, as you can clearly see, Docker image ls, there are 3 images.
Yes.
Shika?
Yeah.
Now I am not downloading the image. I am not downloading the image. I am directly running a Docker run command. Look at the result. You get a message immediately. Please observe. Image not found. You get it, and then automatically pull out.
And then start.
Unable to find the image. Automatically it starts pulling it.
Pulling it, yes.
You're getting the prompt back because it's a detached mode. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And now if you see Docker image ls. Now if you see Docker image ls. Now did you get Nginx? Did we exclusively manually perform the Docker pull command? No, we have not done that.
No.
So from now we will never write a Docker pull command. We don't need to worry about this. We directly frame a Docker run command. Automatically pull operation happens. Okay, that's point one.
Okay.
Now Nginx container is created.
Okay.
Isn't it? Nginx container is created. Okay, now I want from my personal laptop. I want to connect to this Nginx container. If we have a manually mapped it port number, we take the public IP, isn't it?
Yes.
If we have performed manual port mapping, so we used to take the public IP of the Docker host and then port number. As we have manually mapped it, we can know it. As we have not mapped it, okay. What is the container name which you have created?
Nginx.
What is the container name? App server. So we have a command called
Docker build.
Docker port, to know the port. Docker port followed the container name. What is the container name? App server. Okay. Now look at the result of this Docker port followed the container name. It shows you this is a default port. 80 is a default port of Nginx, and this is the port mapping. A 5-digit port mapping happens. 49153.
153. So for accessing this, we need to public IP address /49153.
Yes.
49153.
Welcome to Nginx. If you see this page, the Nginx has been successfully installed.
Installed.
Did we successfully install, Shika?
Yes.
So, two things. We do not perform pull operation. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Automatically pull operation happens and then the container gets created. Capital P for
Okay.
automatic port mapping. Now you're in a position to know the default port as well as the new port which is mapped from the Docker host point of view. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So the command to identify is Docker port followed with the container name to know that container is using what port. Or we have one more command, how to see list of all the containers. How to see list of all the containers. We have a command Docker container ls to see list of all the containers. You can see here Nginx is the container. Here also you can see 49153. Okay, this is the Docker host point 49153. So from you can write an exclusive Docker port command, or you can also see the Docker container list. You can see the specific container and the perform and how exactly perform port mapping. Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, so Kumar Raja, clear about how exactly we can perform capital P for automatic port mapping. Okay.
Yeah, it's got clear just now.
Thank you. All your questions will be eventually cleared. Okay, one by one. Thank you. Yes, Azhar. Azam. Azam, your question. We cannot hear you. Azam, your question, please. Muthuswamy.
Yeah, actually. Yeah, Sunil. So I just seen this, like, for example, we are running any kind of application, am I right? You showed me that Nginx.
Anything.
Anything like, for
Any
example, PHP.
Docker is all about infrastructure on demand. Okay.
Okay.
Practically,
So,
Ubuntu is operating system, isn't it, Muthuswamy? To
yeah,
install operating system generally on a metal server, it will take at least 1 hour time, 1 to 1.5 hours, isn't it? But here
Yeah.
you are able to do it in 1 minute, less than a minute, by running 2 commands, by in fact running 1 command, isn't it? With the
Right.
environment. So infrastructure provisioning tool. We
But
provide the
for example,
infrastructure.
if you want to have some other tools, actually, for example, you showed me Tomcat application, something like related to data warehouse and everything, it will be there, right?
There are millions of containers in Docker Hub. You have to be in a right position to search for the right container, right image,
Okay.
and then
Even
use the
for
image.
Oracle, like if you want to pull it, you can pull it. Oracle, actually.
You can pull it. You can pull it, no doubt. Okay. We'll see it soon.
Right.
Sarvanam Babu.
Hi, Sunil.
Yep.
I have 2 questions.
Yes.
Can we allocate some specific amount of memory to the container?
I have never done it. I have heard that it can be possible, no? But we never do it. Okay.
And one more question. In this, we are using this community edition for Docker. For in this edition, all the images are free, or any license or any
whatever the images which is available in hub.docker.com is exclusively free. Okay. Okay. Corporates will have private paid Docker registries. Okay. So hub.docker.com is having a paid version. Let's say corporates, when they do a lot of hard work in installing some set of softwares inside the container, we can also save our container in the Docker Hub. We'll see it soon. So that is called as private registries. We will see it. Okay, Sarvanand.
Okay, and one more question. You are using Ubuntu image. These all those Linux flavors are only the
available.
Image is only less. If I'm using is Windows, that image will be size will be more, right?
Yes.
Okay, can we use it in Linux?
Our EC2 machines are T2 micro instances, isn't it, Sarvanand?
Yes.
Those are coming with only limited amount of RAM, that is 1 GB memory and 8 GB of storage. Okay, but at the enterprise level, the Docker host will be of a high-speed machines. Okay, a memory of something like 128 GB memory. Okay, and you have terabytes of hard disk, so you will not find any issues. You can take any big enterprise application, you can run it as a form of container as long as the image is available. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Start CentOS as a container. Docker run names, and this again, like Ubuntu, CentOS is also a container. CentOS image not available, it's downloading automatically and the container gets created. That the function of IT stands for interactive terminal. What happens? The container gets created and the control will enter into the container. Perfect. Right now, the moment you're not getting a EC2 machine IP address, that means you have to understand that you are no more pointing to a host, you are pointing to a container. So like this, we have now experienced what are the options we have experienced. -- name, the run command options for providing a name to the container, -p for manual port mapping, #P for automatic port mapping, -D for detached mode, -IT stands for interactive terminal, and we also know that pull operation will now happens automatically. From now, we will never pull the image. We directly write a Docker run command, which helps you to create a container from the image. Okay. So what is the next thing? Understanding detached mode, interactive mode. We have discussed stopping and removing container. We have discussed how to use environment variable. I don't have an example ready. Tomorrow I'll frame an example. We'll see how can we use environment variable in tomorrow's session. That's what I have planned for today's session. Please do hands-on. Docker is much more interesting when you do hands-on. Please do hands-on. And today we are wrapping up 10 minutes before the scheduled time. In tomorrow's session, we'll learn about how can we use environment variables inside the container. Yes. Anjaneyulu.
Hey, good morning, Sunil.
Good morning.
Sorry, I have a question. See, when you are doing this Docker image, you are just doing like Tomcat or this thing. Suppose you do like MySQL or Oracle or
We'll see it
SQL
soon.
Server.
Tomorrow we'll see how exactly we can use MySQL. One database also we'll see it. We'll also look at the front-end application called PHP container. We'll see it. So many more examples in the coming sessions.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Rajesh Gosika.
Yeah, so we are creating multiple containers, right? How the memory will be managed?
By itself, Docker hosts. Okay. The memory actually uses when you use a container, not when the container is created. When a container is created and running state, it uses a very minimum memory. The memory consumption actually happens when we use the container. Okay. So dynamically it allocates. It has its own algorithms. The Docker software manages it. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Hi, Balaji.
Yeah, hi Sunil.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm
How is your health now?
No, thank you. And how is your learning experience?
Yeah, it's going good, Sunil.
Thank you. Yes, your question.
Yeah, my question is, we can able to install Windows, right?
Yes, search for the Windows image.
Yeah, I got that. I searched Windows, and we'll be.
And how can we access Windows image?
Yeah.
Assuming a Windows container is running on Docker host. Wow. Okay. Now, how do you connect? We never use browser for connecting to the operating system, isn't it?
Yeah.
Those are called as GUI based containers. So for connecting to the GUI based containers, we use a special tool called as VNC Viewer. I hope you have already heard about this. We use VNC Viewer for GUI based containers. We'll see it soon. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
I hope you have enjoyed the session. Thank you. See you tomorrow where we'll continue learning more about Docker and containers. Thank you very much. Bye, everybody.
Yeah. Bye.